But if you will cheat, you will cheat. Hey, I'm cheating for no reason.
Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time. That's it.
Terence Crawford visited Anthony Joshua's training camp ahead of the Jake Paul fight, and the boxing world immediately took notice. Crawford carefully watched Joshua's workout sessions, studying every detail. His presence alone showed how seriously Joshua is preparing. Bringing in one of the best fighters on the planet adds even more focus, intensity, and expertise to Joshua's camp as fight night gets closer.
Good. Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time.
Anthony Joshua is always open to learning. Every fighter he meets, every style he sees, and every piece of advice he hears, he absorbs it all. Joshua has built his career by constantly improving and picking up knowledge from many different minds. This habit keeps him growing stronger, smarter, and more complete with every training camp.
A happy fighter is a good fighter. And each individual, uses different things and finds out different ways to keep them occupied and keep them happy. And for me, it was just like...
Joshua pushes himself through brutal training sessions designed to toughen his body and sharpen his reactions. He uses deep ice baths to reduce inflammation and help his body recover faster, so he can train at full power each day. Once he recovers, he goes straight into hard drills that challenge his strength, speed, and mental focus. Every part of this routine shows how committed he is to preparing at the highest level. Combat sports analyst Wade Plemons has a clear message for Anthony Joshua: handle Jake Paul quickly. He believes this is not a fight Joshua should feel out or stretch for entertainment. Wade says a heavyweight with Joshua's resume cannot afford to give Jake Paul any extra time in the ring. Dragging the fight out could create unnecessary doubts and even harm Joshua's reputation, since casual fans, influencer boxing fans, and hardcore boxing fans will all be watching. Wade insists Joshua must set the tone from the opening bell. He has the size, power, and experience advantage, and the cleanest way to show that is by ending the fight early.
Which I think could be a little bit of a feeling out first round for AJ too. Then Jake wins to me. And I know that sounds like, oh, but it's true, bro. AJ shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. He just shouldn't. That's a two-time world champion. You know what I'm saying?
Olympic gold medalist,
gold medalist, two-time world champion. You shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. Jake hasn't fought anybody in, I don't know where they currently rank Tommy Fury, but he hasn't fought anybody in the top 50 in any weight division he's participated in. Mm-hmm. So if that guy's going 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds with you, cooked. But I think if you're putting money on it, I would say but AJ round 3 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Everybody's kind of jumping on the AJ round 2, and I'm like, Jake's tough. Could he use his feet for a little bit longer than people imagine? Is it going to be tougher for AJ to land on him early? Maybe, but I think at a certain point, the cat corrals the mouse a little bit. But we'll see, dude. Who knows? Jake's got some good guys in camp. He brought in Lawrence Okoli. Big Lawrence Okoli now too. Did you see him?
They were. I remember being in Dubai like 3 years ago. Do you remember 3 years ago when we were? Commentated. Yeah, for Deji vs Merva. Yeah. And funny enough, from that fight week, Jake Paul and I hung out, went shooting of AJ. Yeah. I think laser tag of AJ.
Yeah.
3 years ago on the same week.
Wild. That entire week now is like coming to full fruition. It was here in Dubai. It was Jake on commentary. First time I had met Jake. Talking shit to Tommy Fury. Lawrence Okoli was on commentary with me, and I was like, how are you a cruiserweight? Because at that time, he was still a cruiserweight. And I was like, how the fuck are you a cruiserweight? You're massive. And sure enough, now he's like 265-pound heavyweight. He's way too big, by the way. But, he's got Lawrence in camp. He's got Jared Anderson in camp. What's supposed to have been our...
Joshua's camp for the Jake Paul fight looks very different from his usual preparation. Even though he's a former unified heavyweight champion known for organized routines and controlled sparring, this time the energy is different. The intensity is higher, the schedule is tighter, and the adjustments in his training show that Joshua is not underestimating Jake Paul in any way.
Creative, right? Yeah.
Johnny Nelson, former cruiserweight champion and respected Sky Sports analyst, brings a completely different concern. He's not focused on what Joshua needs to do, he's focused on what might happen to Jake Paul. Nelson warns that if Jake takes clean shots from Joshua, the consequences could be serious. Jake has improved a lot since entering boxing, but fighting a former heavyweight champion is a completely different world. Heavyweight power is something Jake has never experienced. Nelson believes one wrong moment in the ring could be dangerous for Jake's health and future career.
Still living life as normal. You're not restricting yourself that much. You know, if you're eating 2 pieces of chicken, maybe you just eat a piece of it. You see what I mean? You're not going to the extreme to try and actually dehydrate yourself or anything like that. It's very different than having to actually hit a specific weight, all right? And to do that in a relatively short space of time, because this fight's, you know, not that long has it been announced, and it's not that long until the fight. It's only 2 weeks away. Eddie Hearn was talking about AJ weighing 265 a couple of days ago. So you're thinking, okay, 20 pounds in 3 weeks? That's not ideal for someone who, again, is in their mid to late 30s, a year in activity, and crucially has never had to hit a specific weight throughout the course of his career. Never had to do it. All right. So it did have me kind of worrying a little bit and thinking, is this a miscalculation accepting that? Because in terms of him fighting Jake Paul, he's going to win. I mean, there's no ifs, but he's going to win this fight. It's pretty much a given, right? But it did have me wondering. Now, AJ, as I said, he took to his social media accounts to show that he's currently weighing 110.6 kg, which is around about 243 US pounds. So that's well under the weight limit. So a lot of people are saying, slam dunk, it's done. Well, I got a few questions on, because you do have to ask these questions. You're talking about Anthony Joshua, who over the course of the last, 3 years has been solid in the 250s. Hasn't weighed sub 240 or sub 250 since he fought Usyk 3 years ago. And bear in mind, he would have went into camp fully intending to be mobile, speed. He would have spent 3, maybe 4 months working on, what's an ideal weight for that, working on this, that, and the other. So it's not like, a crash diet for the Usyk fight or anything like that. And AJ is someone who loves the resistance training. That seems to be the main thing that he does. And outside of camp, he probably would have thought he was fighting Cassius Chaney, which is the name.
When Anthony Joshua revealed he was weighing around 110 kilograms, 243 pounds, it quickly became a major topic of discussion. Normally, Joshua doesn't make huge weight changes, but this time he reportedly cut about 20 pounds in a short period. At his age mid-30s, cutting weight fast can be risky. It affects strength, hydration, recovery, and overall performance. This shows just how seriously Joshua is taking the fight. Going lighter could help his speed, but it might also take away some of the natural heavyweight power he's known for. Joshua is trying to find the perfect balance, light enough to move well, but still heavy enough to remain dangerous.
And for me, he's found his limit now, found his level. So now he needs to look at his health and look at what he's got after boxing. And if he can make 50 mil, whatever he's making, to fight fucking in the clown world against the clown show, do you know what I mean? Then take the money, man. Yeah. Take it and go and live your life. I can't see AJ fighting for a world title again. I don't know who he fights and who he would be and how he would get that desire back to become a world champion. But Eddie Hearn's got to sell it and try and say AJ's going to be world champ again. 3-time world champ, but I'm not buying into that bullshit. I think AJ's had a great career. He's done massive things for professional boxing, and now he's at the end of his career and he's cashing out. So who can blame him? I'd do exactly the same at the end of my career. I'd fight fucking Jake Paul for mega money and then drop the mic and then go home. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to knock him for doing it.
As much as you say that his career is maybe done after this, he has obviously made the jump, left Ben Davison, gone to Usyk. Do you think that could maybe reignite a flame in AJ? Maybe change something that you might not believe is there at the moment?
No, he's too old. Too old. I've been 36, 37 years old, but I've never had 150 million quid in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And I think the combination of his age, the fact that he's been flattened a couple of times, and now he's making mega money. Why is he going to try and become a world champion again? He's got to train for 10 weeks and spar really hard sparring. And then he's got to get in the ring on Fight Night with 10-ounce gloves against somebody like Dubois, or he's not going to fight Usyk again. But maybe he sticks around and fights Tyson Fury, because that's another commercial mega fight, which is actually fighting somebody who's on the same level.
Former world champion Carl Froch, known for his blunt honesty, believes this Jake Paul fight actually makes sense for Joshua. Froch says Joshua is now in the later stages of his career. He has already accomplished almost everything: world titles, historic stadium fights, massive pay-per-views. Frock says there simply aren't many meaningful fights left for Joshua. So taking the Jake Paul fight is not a bad move. It's a huge payday with worldwide attention. Frock also points out that a Tyson Fury fight could still happen afterward. And after that, Joshua may not have much left to chase in the sport. For Frock, this fight is business, not legacy. And Joshua has earned the right to make these decisions.
For AJ, I'm stuck in between. Because nobody on this green earth would actually turn down 50, 60 million to fight Jake Paul. And people that don't like this will probably watch it because they want to see Jake Paul getting knocked out. So what's it say about AJ and what's it say about Jake Paul? I think I was thinking upside down. For AJ, I thought, Mama's cashing out. He's cashing out because he's going down this mimic line. But I thought, in reality, is he? Realistically, he's thinking, you know what? This big mouth YouTuber stroke boxer has the cheek to call me out. I'd be pissed off at that, if I'm honest with you. I'd be upset if I was AJ, thinking, that's disrespect, man. You think you can deal with me? But he didn't. AJ was jovial and he commended Jake Paul's business acumen, saying, we've sat down, the deal's been done. But still, it just leaves an odd taste in your mouth. So as long as AJ gets the job done, and I mean gets the job done, shows his world-class pedigree and wipes this boy out, then everybody's happy. But how does it enhance his career? The only way it enhances his career is financially. That's it. No other way. There's no props from beating Jake Paul, apart from saying, thank God you shut him up. For Jake Paul now, I got to give this boy props because he now has our attention and the whole world is talking about Jake Paul. I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Bet Goodwin, for supporting That Boxing Show. Now, if you're interested in having a little flutter, or as I call it after my dad, Benji's Bets, Bet Goodwin's the place to be. Check out Bet Goodwin using the QR code on the screen. I'm probably all right. I'm probably 90% thinking the fight's going to happen. But I'm struggling. I'm thinking, this boy can't be so stupid. But then you hear a whisper. You hear a whisper that Jake Paul himself might be cashing out. Because the big purses that he's pulling, fighting these has-beens or ex-fighters, they're dropping slowly but surely. So maybe, just maybe, this might be his last fight. Getting in there with Anthony Joshua and getting knocked out. But there's always that conspiracy theory. Are there some contract agreements that can and cannot be done, which will never see the light of day that we don't know about? Well, if you're an ex-fighter and if you like the fight game, you'll see fake. You'll know fake when you see it. So if there's any of that fakery going on with this, pulling a shot, taking it easy, giving man a bit of a breather, especially coming from AJ,
into confidence.
Jake Paul is being dwarfed by these way bigger heavyweights like Jared Anderson, Frank Sanchez, and Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is like 6'4.5", 6'5", and these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", probably. So now Jake Paul is the one that's smaller. So first of all, I will give credit to Jake Paul. Clearly, he's a person who is taking his career seriously. These are quality sparring. I mean, a real boxer, because people say he's not a real boxer, but a real boxer would be using the same guys in their sparring camp. In fact, I just told you Joshua used Lawrence Okolie. I don't know if he sparred with Anderson or Frank Sanchez, but these are all regular ranked heavyweights. So credit to Jake Paul for that. And I mean, he's going to need it. Joshua is a different breed to a Mike Perry when it comes to boxing. Different frame, different size. In case you didn't believe me, right? Jake Paul, this is what MVP Promotions posted. So Jake Paul top sparring, right? Heavyweights. And here's some pictures of Joshua with Lawrence Okolie. And again, Joshua, a big dude, but you see Lawrence Okolie, and he probably was cruiserweight back then. I mean, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but he's only like an inch shorter than Anthony Joshua. And now, as he's moved up to the full heavyweight, he has filled out more. You see, he looks even bigger than when he was a cruiserweight. Now, I gotta research it, but I want to say I thought Lawrence Okolie was injured, but again, I'm not his doctor.